What up? Ain't got nothing to say. What's going on? So let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. I'm curious. Curious. Want to know your thoughts. I don't know your thoughts. Just curious. Family Matters with instructor Mike. That's right. I'm live on my other YouTube channel. What's going on? Let's see who's live with me. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? What's up, man? I don't know. Just chilling. Oh, I like that. What up, Mo? What's going on? Let's see how many people Father Zuckerberg allows me to have on my page. Let's see what happens here. What's going on? Melvin, Mo. You know what? I might not get as many people to watch this on this because it's controversial, right? But it's not on my other largest platforms. Oh God, what's up, Kurt? Oh, sorry. Maybe I should have went live on Instructor Mike. Who knows? But let's talk about it. I'm curious to still know what your thoughts and opinions are about this given situation. Nah, I don't have a special video, nothing like that. This is just going to be a conversation that we're going to have because I like to have it. What's going on? Oh, the numbers seem to be going up. Shit. Father Zuckerberg had many sons, and many sons had father. Can you guys hear me still? Can you guys hear me? La La Lynn, what's going on? And the numbers are going down. Man. Stephanie, you said always interested in your topics. Thank you. Danielle, what's going on? Kurt, Yepers. What's going on? Let's see. Because I don't want to dive into it just yet. You said no A bad or not bad. Which one are we talking about? Hey Danielle, what's going on? What's going on? Jasmine, what's up? Jasmine, your posts are always something else. What's up, Matt? Oh no, I'm just seeing how many people. Oh, that's right. I'm a Cubby. Oh my God, yes. Look at that. Y'all thought I was a Sox fan because I'm a Southsider. Look, born and raised Chicago. I've been a Cubby all my life. What's up? What's up, Jimmy? It's awesome. Good Reverend Mike. What's up, man? Let's get some more people in here. See if we can get those numbers up to 100, Father Zuckerberg, if you would opine. What's up, Jim? Boo, Yankees, baby. That's fine. Look, I'm not about to sit here and act like I'm a new school Cubby, even though this is the bandwagon Cubs hat. You said, was this a local family in the topic? Nah, not a local family. Just a situation I became. What's up, Alea, Eminem? Oh, by the way, for the record, I would now, matter of fact, it's not official until you change your name. Let me see if I can change my name. I wish to be called M. My pronouns are M and M. And I am available in most of your grocery stores. Don't mind me. I'm an idiot. Don't mind me. You said Dodgers fan? Yeah, you said most of my posts just for entertainment. I know, Jasmine. What's up, Ashley? So let's go on ahead and dive into it. We got enough people in here. Those who are interested, and those who are not, it's all good. By the way, I'm streaming also on my I'm gonna say blue and green Eminem. I'm also streaming on my YouTube page, Family Matters with Instructor Mike. not my regular YouTube page. So let's talk about it. So I became aware of a situation, and of course, I'm going to be talking in code somewhat because I'm not going to reveal certain things about the situation that I became aware of, but I think it's absolutely awesome. So, a relationship ensued between two parties, a male and a female. Okay. These two parties performed actions which result in the creation of a child. See how that works? We don't want to care who started the relationship, right? And in the creation of this child, remember when I wrote a book called Why Do Grown-Ups Have Babies? Right? The baby was contingent or dependent upon the status of them maintaining a relationship. Okay. And so, matter of fact, y'all hold that thought. Let me go get my book because this is gonna be in line with that. Hold that thought. I gotta get this book. Don't go nowhere. Where are you at? Where are you? Okay. All right, here we go. Got the book. Because this is gonna be right on topic. Bam. Here we go. All right. So with this situation, here we go. Why do grown-ups have babies? Okay. I wrote this book. So in this situation, he did not want to be in a relationship. She wanted to still be in the relationship. And because he didn't want to be in the relationship, the mom decided that she did not want to be a single mother and dropped the baby, or gave the baby, in essence, to the father for the father to raise. So when I was contacted about this situation, and some of you are like, Mike, why would you be contacted about any situation? Who are you? I know, right? But I actually have value to certain people. Am I struggle streaming already? Because I'm looking at StreamYard, and StreamYard is giving me some unstable connection vibes. So let me know if I'm struggle streaming, guys. Please, if possible. Am I okay still? Is it lagging? Can you guys still see me? Hear me? Let me know in the comments. A little bit. Struggle streaming a little bit. Okay. Maybe I should go live from my phone. Maybe it would be better that way. Okay. I seem to be back. I'm back. Oh, Facebook is good. Okay. All good on your end. Okay, well, let's continue. So, why would I be called about these situations? Because to some people, I actually have value for the information that I give. So, it still says lagging, bro. I'm going to keep on going. So, what are your thoughts about that? You said hit and miss. Should I start over and just use my phone and just not use a computer? Not lagging. Thanks, Matt. Glad you're here. I am not lagging. Jarima, hey, shouts out to, don't you mess it up. Tag it, Jarima, because I know it's books. I will not mess that up. Nope. Matter of fact, I'm not going to mess that up. I am not going to mess that up. You said no skipping there, 10-2? Thank you. Good thing I remember. Burst into books. Boy, about to say I'm about to mess your stuff up. It's too important. So Burst into books. Go check her out. She does an amazing job with Burst into books and the farmers market. So I'm going to go on ahead and continue with what I had to say. You all said I'm lagging on Facebook. Some are saying I'm lagging. Some are saying I'm not. I don't know. I probably should bring on my own Wi-Fi, my other Wi-Fi, to make sure I'm still good. 5x5. Okay. Maybe because it's not Wednesday. I normally go live on Wednesday. Who cares? All right, let's go on ahead and continue. So to recap the story for those of you all who just came into the room, two people get into a relationship, and in that relationship, they conceive a child. And in the conception of that child was contingent upon a relationship. In other words, we're going to do it together or I'm not going to do it by myself. Mom gives the baby to the dad for the dad to raise. Mom pops smoke. If you're still watching this, what are your thoughts about that? I want to see what your thoughts are in the comments before I begin to opine about that. This struggle streaming thing is really, StreamYard is cool, but I guess at the time that I stream, it's probably better. What are your thoughts about that? Definitely not something that is heard of. What are your thoughts about that? And your thoughts of what I think about it are probably not what I think about it. I have a different opinion about it. Well, smart woman. Okay, Mo said smart woman. Outstanding. Outstanding. What else? What are your thoughts about it? Some of y'all are taking a long time with these comments, which means you got a lot of stuff to thumb. You said unusual. Wow, but glad she did, depending upon the outcome. If she's not going to be a good mom and provider, it's a great decision. Okay, good. Rob said unusual. Daniel says, wow, glad she did, depending upon the outcome. No different than dad doing it. Okay. If he couldn't raise the child, well, the child was better off. That should have been discussed before. You're not wrong, but when you're about to dive into certain delectables, you are not discussing those things, especially given the context of the situation of what took place before the submarine begins to dive into the Pacific Ocean. You know what I'm saying, right? And Mo says I'm saying. All right, so here we go. I love what she did. I love what she did. And I wish that were a thing. I wish that were a thing that we stop forcing people to have children they know they are not prepared to take care of. And then when this person called me and asked me for my opinion, for whatever it's worth, about the given situation, I'm like, well, how's the dad? And this person was like, well, the dad, he means well, but he's not prepared either. And I'm like, then the dad should give the baby up for adoption. How old is the baby? She gave the baby's age. And I'm sitting here like, it's not too late. Like, adoption is still an option. It's not too late. Like, the baby is not going to remember as much as you all like to think the baby will remember. The baby is not going to remember any of this stuff that takes place, right? Give the baby up for adoption. Here's the reason why I said that. And again, like I said, I want your opinions, but I'm not looking for approval. Here's the reason why I said that. There are people who are probably ready, willing, and able, and more prepared to give what that child needs more than you. And I thought about a story. Those of you all who are heavy theologians and heavy into the Bible, or at least can understand the story of Moses, right? Remember when Moses was first born? Remember when Pharaoh I, who was actually Ramesses I, I believe, had an edict when it was prophesied by one of his philosophers or psychics or whatever, that the deliverer of the Israelites, the enslaved Israelites, would come from among the firstborn. So Pharaoh set an edict that the firstborn man-child of every Israelite family will die. Now, we're not debating the accuracy of this. I'm just talking about the story. And Bithiah, his mom, unless there's another name for it, I'm not going into that either. There's so many different translations, right? Bithiah set Moses upon the Nile so that he could go off and just be great and be protected. What if Bithiah had her feelings so close to her, right? It reminds me of a thing that General Colin Powell said Avoid having your ego so closely connected to your position that when your position falls, your ego falls with it. And to that I say, never love someone so hard you lose yourself. Never love something so hard you can't set it free. And look what happened. According to the story in the Bible, Moses went into the house of Pharaoh, became the prince of Egypt, discovered he was Hebrew, killed to protect the Hebrew, went off, found the 10 Commandments, came back, plagues, set the people free, still got tested. You see what I'm saying? Look at all these things that took place because she set Moses free. And so I know this isn't a very popular discussion. I'm looking at the views. I'm looking at the struggle streaming, which is why I probably thought I should have did this on my phone. Neither here nor there. Those who are supposed to hear, they're here. And so I think that she did an outstanding job giving the child over to the dad and deciding that it was not for her. Granted, Cisco, you are absolutely correct that discussion should have been had before. That discussion should have been had before. But if you are not who you need to be, and you get some who are selfish. And this is what I mean. There's nothing wrong with being selfish, but let me give you more context. This book, and yes, that's my piano, right? Why do grown-ups have babies, right? It's like a meteorite in a crater. What I don't teach you now, life will teach you later. People talk choices and easily ignore, like Cisco said, you should have discussed that before. But guess what? Choices have motivators, so let's explore, right? Like some important jobs, no education is required, just biology, proxemics, and be physically inspired. That's all you need to have a baby, right? There are other reasons that you have a baby, why you have a baby, stuff like that. Let's talk about some of those reasons that some people end up having a baby. Here we go. Because she wanted a baby. Some men do some men do things to keep some women happy. Should this be? You tell me. Right? Because he wanted to keep her. For some unhealed reason, he believes he needs her. He thinks, get her pregnant and she's mine forever. Will this be you? I surely hope never. Because she doesn't believe in abortion or adoption. He said he didn't want it, but for her, those weren't options. Adoption is still an option. If you know you are not prepared to have that child and take care of that child, give that child up for adoption. Give that child up for adoption. The worst thing you can do for a child is have that child for your own self-esteem and not have that child for his or her or its outcomes, whatever you want to label the child, whatever, his or her outcomes. When you have that child for your self-esteem and not their outcomes, you are messing that child up. And that's the selfish that I'm talking about. Because he or she has no family or friends, so they created a baby by blood, family, by needs their friend, a recipe for a toxic end. Because babies are paychecks to those who can't see other virtuous ways to make money. Uncle Sam becomes the baby's daddy. To that office, don't forget the correct Addy. Mommy, why do we need daddy again? Because by law, babies are automatically the mommy's. If the daddy isn't married to the mommy, does the daddy have to qualify to be the daddy? So my seed isn't my seed that I planted in deed until I signed the deed after doing the deed, man. Because they are both ready to be parents and teach. But what do they know? Clothes, shoes, diapers, and food. Guess that's it, you know. Because some couldn't protect themselves from what caused the baby to be. Mommy, can you teach me to protect me? How? Let's go to the victims' advocates. But mommy, are they telling us what keeps them relevant? Because everybody around me has a baby. I want one. Is something wrong with me? Why do grown-ups have babies? Because never mind why. You better thank me for having you, working 3 jobs just to care for you because I wasn't prepared for you, trying to get you to understand why you should appreciate why I chose to have you when really I don't have time to teach you. Barely have time to raise you. Having babies don't come with instructions. Think you can do better now? How? Think you're ready to have a baby now? I'm just saying. So to the person who called me, I think that she did the right thing. I think that mom did the absolute right thing, giving that baby to the father. Now, the question is, what is the father going to do? I suggest give the baby up for adoption. You know you are not prepared to take care of that child. And it would be absolutely selfish of that child's outcomes. Not selfish for you per se, but it's selfish to that baby's outcomes. You know you have not been taught in the 7 areas of home economics to at least a 75% degree of proficiency. What are the 7 areas of home economics? Cooking, child development, right? Health and hygiene, home management and design, education and community awareness, sewing and textiles, budgeting and economics. You know you are not proficient in those 7 areas. You're not even close to being proficient. Or let me guess, you got a job. You can provide food on the table, clothes on your back, a roof over your head, pot to piss in, one to throw it out. But can you sit there and actually do what the mom can do? This is not the movie Fatherhood. You are not Kevin Hart. You do not have a supporting cast as you think. And I'm telling you, children will test your gangster. Children will test your gangster. For sure they will. They're supposed to. They're supposed to test just how good you are. I will do that, Cisco. They are supposed to test your gangster. And if you don't have the energy to have the patience, because you don't have the knowledge, skills, and abilities to actually do and teach, you shouldn't have children. You should not have children. And if you have them, give them up for adoption. There's somebody waiting and willing, wishing they could have the opportunity to take care of it. That doesn't mean every adoptive parent is a great parent. That doesn't mean every adoptive parent is a great parent. It's called Why Do Grown-Ups Have Babies? That's the name of the book. Why Do Grown-Ups Have Babies? Only $5. That's all this book is. If you are not ready to be a parent, stop trying to have this baby as your self-esteem pillow. Stop it. The time that I created a child, I was not ready. Not ready at all. Not ready at all. Me having children, no disrespect, or without any respect. Let me say this correct. With irrespective to their lives and the value that their lives have, me creating children was the worst thing that I could have ever done. Now, the parents are super young. They're not teens. They're just super young, like in their 20s, right? And please, not saying you, Danielle, but please, anybody who watches this, sound off in the comments. Don't sit here and compare your experience to it. Oh my God, when I was 20, I wasn't ready. But through it all, my child came out perfect. You don't know that. You don't know that. You do not know that. Life has not tested your child's gangster. You only think they came out well because they graduated school. Come on now, let's talk facts. They graduated school. They probably haven't gotten into any trouble, right? But life has not tested your child's gangster. Your child will probably not know until they get into a worse relationship and parenting situation with the other person who expects them to be what they thought they should have been. See, a person is only as strong as the support system that they have when things go bad, not when things are good. When things are good, everybody's got your back. But when things go bad, that's when you begin to find out what you are not prepared to do. And everything that you have told that person that you can't do, those are the things that when things are going bad, those are the things they will use against you. You said you couldn't cook, sir. She said, you ain't got to worry about it. I could throw down in the kitchen as well as in the bedroom. And you was like, bet I'm going to have good course meals and I'm going to get some sex. Then when the relationship is over, look, Your Honor, he can't even cook. So how is he going to feed the kids? Use it against you. I'm telling you, parents, prepare your children in the 7 areas of what's now called family and consumer sciences. No, that was not 7, that was 8. This is 7, but you know what I mean. Prepare them in those areas of family and consumer sciences, so that way they have the ability to be able to do for self at a 75% level of proficiency, so that when they get into that situation, the other person can't use what your child doesn't know how to do against them. I'm telling you, you don't have to like me, but I hope you find value in this. Because I'm telling you, the person in question who has that baby now, the way that their work life is, the way that their work schedule is, they don't have time to raise a child. They don't have time to. That's true. Oh my God. How can one teach what they don't know? You are correct. You are correct. Lastly, let me read a comment. You said, my niece and nephew just adopted 3 children. They had only wanted one, but they did not want to split them up, so they adopted the other 2 as well. Well, here's the question that I have, Stephanie. And please, by all means, ask questions. Ask questions. Maybe you'll find the value of why this person called me and we began to have that discussion. So by all means, ask questions. Here's the question that I have. What is the cost per child over the span of their lifetime? And can that person afford that bill? That's the question. Because if we haven't had that discussion, right? Ideal situation. Dad keeps the child and they all get counseling. Time, well, yeah, that and a whole other piece. Here's the situation, Cisco. If we're talking about that as a recommendation, the problem is this. I think we should stop forcing people to be parents that they don't want to be. And there are a lot of children in our community who are in homes that are just like prisons. Can't talk, can't say anything, can't ask questions. Yeah, you're definitely getting fed because that's easy. When you're getting whatever kind of assistance you're getting, that's easy. You're getting fed. You're definitely getting raised, right? Look at the definition between raising a child and teaching a child. Raising a child, let's look it up. Let's look it up right now. I got no problem with that. Raising, to raise, definition. Here we go. Raise, a verb. Lift or move to a higher position or level, right? 2, increase the amount, level, or strength of. 3, cause to occur or to be considered. 4, collect, levy, bring together. 5, bring up. Here we go. And underneath bring up, as in a child, breed or grow. 6, bring, abandon, drive. Where do any of those definitions say teach? I didn't make it up. I'm just saying raising a child is not the same thing as teaching. You raise cattle. You teach children. I didn't make it up. I'm no one. I am no one. But it's amazing what trauma and trauma work can cause you to learn when you just simply put in the work and look up what's already in front of your face. I raised you. Yes, you did raise me, but did you teach me? Stephanie, you said they don't want for anything parents and army of adults with careers and they all live well. That's fine. I'm not debating, right? And here's this, Stephanie, with all due respect, pull yourself away from the situation, so to speak, open the mind. Because what's the rubric of success? And I love that my views are not what they are typically on my other page. That's fine. I'm cool with that because those who are supposed to hear, they're here, right? What is the rubric for success typically as it relates to whether or not our children have been raised, taught, and are successful? You got a house, you got a car, you got a career, right? You might have a husband or a wife, and you got kids. All acquisition of beings and materials. That's it. Jobs, beings, materials. Not, I have taught you, pressure tested you, taught you how to learn, taught you how to teach, made sure you learned. I know you're a qualified teacher as a parent. As long as things look good on the surface, they must be good. But then here you are in your 40s, in your 30s, having never seen healthy relationships. If I'm lying, I'm dying, I'm flying. Let's look at the family credit report. How many husbands are in the family on both sides, maternal and paternal? How many wives are in the family? How many mothers are in the family? How many fathers are in the family? Let's start there doing the research there. And then of those who are mothers, fathers, husbands, wives, what were their outcomes? Well, they've been married for 30 years, but they've only been fruitful for 5. They've only been productive for 5. They've only been outcome driven reciprocally for 5. So don't tell me about the 30, tell me about the 5. If you actually do a bar graph chart of those in your family, right? How many mothers have been wives? So if they haven't been wives, how could they teach you what they've never been? How can they teach you what they've never been taught to be? How many husbands are actually fathers, or how many fathers are actually husbands? Same thing, right? Can't teach a man or a boy how to be a husband. Wait a minute, Mike, that's bull. They see it in the family. So we're showing them by example. Nowhere in life does that work. Nowhere in life does that work, right? Now I'm going to read your comments, Stephanie. Here we go. Yes, we said example. I don't know if that's X as in terms of example or X. Yes. Yes, they can, Mike. Mike, my nephew, is a high-ranking sergeant in the Army and his wife as well. Money is no object for them. 3D, they also have toe. It's open, and his wife wanted children, but they can't, so they both decided to adopt because they had to. That's all I'm saying. No, you're missing what I'm saying. You're missing what I'm saying. And I appreciate that, Stephanie. I appreciate you still being in the room and still discussing, but you're missing what I'm saying. Stephanie, if I can introduce to you my experience in the military, and my experience in the military is not uncommon like most Black people's experience in the military. It is known that Black people, for the most part, don't really get into service for service to country. We get into service for substance and security. Let's just start there. Substance and security. Neighborhood is fucked up. College may not be affordable. You can go in the Army. We give you 3 hots and a cot. You can travel the world. We give you pay. But with that pay, as low as it is, you don't have to pay for where you live. You don't have to pay for what you eat. You don't have to pay for most of the clothes that you wear because most of the time you're in uniform. And whatever clothes you do buy, it doesn't cost you that much. And you don't have to worry about loneliness. You live in the barracks with other people suffering from similar issues as you. We give you discipline. We give you purpose. We give you structure, substance, and security. Then you say, appreciate you, Cisco, always. Then you say, high-ranking sergeant in the Army and his wife as well. So we tend to meet other people in like situations. You said money is no object for them. Didn't I just sit here and say money? Let's talk about it, right? In that, let me tell you why money is no object. They don't have to pay for health care. You get military TRICARE. You don't have to pay for dental, so it's not coming out of your pocket. You get basic allowance for housing, basic allowance for substance. You get commissary, and they're both military, so they're each dependent upon each other. The military is supporting that lifestyle. But when you get out of the military, when life tests your gangster, that's when you find out maybe I can't afford what I took on. Who am I? I'm no one. I'm no one. Depending upon what type of job they have in the military, they move around a lot. So then you have the children who don't have a sense of stability, always changing friends, always changing schools, every 2 to 3 to 4 years, always changing duty stations, father, mother, or both, always deployed. Family readiness group may or may not be there. Should I go on? I'm just saying. So I'm not wishing them ill. I'm just saying these are obstacles that come with that. Right? And you said they couldn't have children, so they had to. Did they have to? Did they have to? Do you know how many military marriages end up in divorce? Do you know how many people get in the military and get married early? Stephanie, I think you're too close to it, so you can't see what I'm talking about. But this message isn't for you. It's for someone who can see what I'm saying. You're defending. You're not in the situation, so you don't understand. And that's fine. Bless you. Maybe it may work out for them. Cool. But their situation may not be everybody else's. Right? So, ending this with saying, I think mom did an outstanding job giving the baby to dad. Mom chose to be honest about her situation and the fact that you're fine, Stephanie, you're good. Right? You got my information. We can talk more on this. Right? But I think that mom did an outstanding job giving the baby to dad. That was something that needed to occur. And if more people would do that and more people would sit there and give the child up when you're not prepared to be a parent, we could actually start to care more about their outcomes than care about the reasons we chose to selfishly create them. And I mean we, in both parties, because it goes both ways. All right, out of here. I'm glad I didn't get the views that normally pop and stuff like that, because this was a conversation needed to be had between the few people who were here. All right, you all take care. Peace.